Yeah, Babish. Uh, after nearly 2 weeks, we've got a new Babish video. Oh, thank God. It was at 4 frames per second now. I think it's because of the. I've tried so much to, like, slow down everything. I put it on the lowest settings possible. Nothing happens. I can't do a damn thing about it. But yeah, Andrew has done Benching with Babish, Trenette al Pesto from Luca, and if you've seen my video reacting to the honest trailer for Luca, eh, I haven't really rewatched it. You know, I know some people who've liked the movie, and that's fine, who've really enjoyed it. I wouldn't really rank it above, like, my top tier Pixar movies. Alright. Uh, alright, let me look at, like, some of my favorite ones. Because I know that Wally for me is top tier Pixar in many ways. For me, that is like nothing can ever top Wally. Not even the original Toy Story. But like Wally, Inside Out, Soul, Coco. Yeah, man. I think I gotta like start rewatching all the Pixar films to like truly get a hand at what I'm thinking about though. But like Soul I remembered enjoying. Um all right, Wally, Inside Out, and The Incredibles, I think, are my tops. And then Toy Story, original Toy Story, somewhere there. And Finding Nemo as well. But yeah, I've really got to start rewatching Pixar movies again. Because it's been a while, though. I think I got to, like, take a time during the month, maybe just during a month, just to watch all of Pixar's movies for a day. And then do my reviews here. I don't know. But I should do it, and then I'll probably do a Pixar movies ranked video. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Luca. I thought was a very beautiful film, and it had a good message. I just don't really see myself rewatching it in the future. It's kind of like Good Dinosaur. Good Dinosaur, I thought was a very good looking film and had a pretty good message about growing up. But I wouldn't really rewatch The Good Dinosaur. I did try rewatching it. I don't know for sure. Do I need to? No, I don't. But as far as I do know, Wally is my all-time favorite Pixar film. That is a film I rewatch whenever I want to. So yeah, let's see Andrew recreate the pasta from Luca. Trenette al pesto.
Dinner's ready. Trenette al pesto.
Mm. Oh. Mm.
Okay.
That was me as a kid. I assume it's me as a kid. Oh god. At times we sloppily ate pasta as kids. Oh god.
Ciao, come va ragazzi? E benvenuto al Binging con Babish. E grazie mille a Google Translate. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we are once again playing with fire in the form of a simple, traditional, regional Italian recipe. Trenette al pesto is a simple enough dish, but as usual with Italian cuisine, the devil is in the details. There's Ligurian pesto, the kind of basil and pine nut based pesto with which you're probably most familiar. Plenty of ways for us to get into trouble, and then there's the Trenette, which from what I can tell is a little bit wider than linguine, not quite as wide as fettuccine, but shares its flatness. Honestly, all that really matters is that you use pasta of the utmost quality. And then there's some yellow waxy potatoes and green beans. We're gonna peel and small dice the potatoes and cut the green beans down into like 1-inch segments. Then comes the pesto, for which we're gonna follow Pixar's posted recipe. 30 grams of pine nuts, 2 cloves of chopped garlic, and a pinch of coarse salt head into a mortar and pestle, where they get processed into an almost creamy paste. Then we're adding 50 grams or 45 leaves of fresh basil, stems removed. At this point, you might start to wish that you had a slightly larger mortar and pestle, but go ahead and soldier on, processing the basil leaves until they just start to break down, at which point we're going to start slowly adding some high-quality olive oil. Nothing too spicy or fruity, we want a nice mellow flavor, and we want to add 100 ml of it, one little splash at a time, while we slowly process together the pesto. This is going to help emulsify it into a creamy sauce rather than an oily mess. Another thing that's going to help emulsify it is cheese. About 2 tablespoons each, Parmigiano Reggiano and Pecorino Romano. Once you've added all the oil and the sauce is smooth and creamy with the consistency of, say, a heavy cream, you are ready to rock. Now you might be asking yourself, is it worth setting your forearms on fire to slowly and laboriously coax these ingredients into a sauce, or can you just throw everything in a food processor and blitz? Well, the answer is yeah, this will still yield a mighty fine pesto. But the theory is that by bruising and mashing the basil rather than chopping it, yields a more subtle, delicate, pronounced
That's Jess, isn't it? I assume it's got to be Andrew's wife or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a while.
flavor. For more, we turn, as always, to a blind Jessican taste test, which quickly and resoundingly agreed with Italian tradition. The mortar and pestle version was better, my science is flawless, do not question it. Anyway, it's time to start finally making the damn thing. We're starting by bringing our heavily salted water to the boil, before adding our chopped potatoes, pasta, and green beans all at the same time. I'm not sure how I feel about this, I think it's not enough time for the potatoes and too much time for the green beans, but let's see what happens. We're cooking for about 10 minutes, reserving half a cup of pasta cooking water, straining everything, and then preparing to combine with the pesto, which we're going to do in an entirely separate bowl. It is important not to heat your pesto. About the only heat you want it to experience is the residual heat from the pasta. We're going to add some of our pasta cooking water, a little splash at a time, as we toss everything together until we've achieved the correct consistency, which should be nice and creamy, both from the pesto and the pasta cooking water emulsifying together into a sauce, and from the potatoes, which should break down just a little bit and lend their starch to the situation. Once you've got this properly seasoned with kosher salt, no freshly ground pepper in this recipe apparently, go ahead and plate it up and get ready to savor the pride and joy of Liguria, one of the most delicious and comforting dishes in the world. One that needs no improvement, but I want to see if I can get a little bit closer to the version in the movie. This, I assume, starts not with store-bought basil, but that which has been grown and freshly harvested in one's own backyard. I'm honestly not sure if this is going to make any appreciable difference, but as usual with Italian cuisine, it seems like the further you go for authenticity, the better. So we're grabbing exactly 45 leaves, or, I don't know.
Now I'm just seeing. I don't know. I don't know why the hell Andrew has his nails painted. Uh, I'm fine with my janky ass looking nails here. I don't really need to paint them. Not unless I want to just like wash. Oh man. Tell you what, I woke up like 4 hours ago. I'm still tired.
Somewhere around that. And this time we are not measuring anything. We're going to do things the Italian way by using the force. We're losing the stems off our leaves of basil. I got myself some legit, real deal Italian pine nuts. A beautiful head of young, freshly harvested garlic, which has a more subtle, slightly less spicy flavor than its older counterparts. By the way, you might be wondering why my nails are painted now, and the short answer is that I like the way it looks, but the thematically appropriate answer is that I got a little sea monster in me. Next up, we're busting out our real deal Italian Carrara Mar.
Knew Andrew was gonna acknowledge. Sea monster. It's interesting. I'll talk about it at the end.
Marble mortar and wooden pestle, both the authentic choice and the much easier choice because its weight is going to help cut down on forearm utilization. I'm going to lightly toast my pine nuts by tossing them around in a dry, hot pan and allowing them to cool completely before processing them together with the garlic. And the important thing to keep in mind when processing this stuff together is not to mix or scrape, but rather to pound. This is both going to produce a smoother, more creamy result, and it's an easier, shall we say, more familiar motion. Once we've broken the pine nuts down to a sandy consistency, I'm going to chop up the garlic a little bit, add it to the mortar, and proceed to give it a solid pestlin. Once you've got that broken down to a nice creamy, almost lumpless paste, which should take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, now's the time to start adding the basil leaves, one little handful at a time. Add a little pinch of coarse salt. This is going to help break down the basil leaves by acting like little sort of ball bearings of cellular destruction. Once you've got everything processed down into a pretty smooth paste, now's the time to add the cheese. This time we're using a 2-to-1 ratio of Parmigiano Reggiano to Pecorino Romano. This is going to give us more of a mellow, subtler cheese flavor. Pound and process that into the sauce. We don't want any big old chunks of cheese. Then once you've got that down into a nice, relatively smooth paste, it's time to add the olive oil. This time we're using real Ligurian olive oil. You definitely don't need to special order region-specific olive oil, but once again we're trying to, as accurately as possible, recreate what was enjoyed in that darling little fishing town in the Italian Riviera. Add the oil a little bit at a time, adding cheese to emulsify if the sauce starts to break, until you're met with a thick, creamy Italian pesto. Mine's a little bit chunky, but hey, that's the way I like it. And this time with the pasta, I'm adding stuff in stages. First the potatoes, because they take the longest to cook. After about 5 minutes of cooking, I'm going to add the green beans. Let these guys cook for about 3 minutes before adding the pasta. That's because this time I'm using a quick cooking dried Trenette that only takes 2 minutes to cook. If you're using a more traditional dried pasta, go ahead and time things accordingly. Scoop out that pasta water, set it aside, drain the stuff, drop it straight in a large bowl along with our homemade pesto. Toss everything together with a little splash of pasta cooking water, adding more as necessary to emulsify the sauce. Take care not to over toss so you don't break down the potatoes too much. Pile it high in a bowl, be sure to top with plenty of green beans and potatoes, and this time we're not going to forget to garnish with a little bit of fresh basil. And there you have it, Trenette al pesto, made with real Italian, regional, local ingredients. Was it worth the extra effort? And the answer is kinda, yeah. There's a lot more subtlety and sweetness to the olive oil and the young garlic. The freshly picked basil has a little bit more pronounced flavor, but if you really want to be authentic, you gotta eat this like a sea monster. Even if people ask you, what's wrong with you, stupido? Just laugh as you drive away on your Vespa. And now, folks, I'm very excited to share with you a trailer for Rick Martinez's new show, premiering right here on the BCU this Saturday, July 10th. Let's take a look at Prebolo with Rick Martinez.
Oh, it's shot in 2-1.
Welcome to Mexico. Pruébalo.
Alright. I'm happy for you. Expanding, because, now he's got a new show here. He's got a lot of stuff on, I think. Just to think, I got a Parmesan ice cream. Really? All the weird things to happen. My kid. We're in a pandemic now. Parmesan ice cream is not that crazy now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm turning on the shade. I don't really think it matters. Let's see. Binging with Babish. Wiki. Actually, I gotta put some of the shade up. Here it is. Babish Culinary Universe. How did the show start? Yeah. Was created by Ree as Binging with Babish. The name was inspired by, obviously, the character, which I think it was, I think it was in downtown New York, because, Andrew was born in New York. Yeah, Andrew Ree. Yeah. See. Born, yeah, raised in Rochester, New York. Polish, Italian, and Welsh descent. Yeah. So that's interesting there. Yeah. Oh yeah, it says here that Andrew was married before I think way before the channel was a thing. And he was divorced, and from what Andrew has said, he doesn't like to talk about it, which I think is a good thing. I don't really need to know too much. I just like seeing the content that Andrew puts out here. The whole thing with Luca, it's just the nails got me confused. And then I remembered right after Luca came out, and it's interesting because the movie came out during June, Pride Month. Uh, yeah, there was lots of people saying that, it's more of a coming out story. a story about acceptance. And I've seen lots of that. There have been lots of anime, and I will say I think they did it better than in Shark Tale. Um, yeah, because Shark Tale, obviously they with Shark Tale, it's like awful movie. By the way, I can't believe I was stupid enough to like it as a kid. Now that I'm an adult, it's awful. Now that I'm grown up, it's worse than I remember it. But yeah, how much battery do I have on this damn thing? Oh god. But yeah, like with Shark Tale, the whole thing with Lenny not being like the other sharks, like I'm not like the other sharks. It's like, yeah, this is definitely a thing. It's like, okay, I'm ending the video here. That was Binging with Babish. Trenette. Yeah, I skipped the video. So, what was the video called? Trenette al Pesto from Luca. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen the movie. God, almost gonna be 3 weeks. So I'll leave a link to the original video down below, a link to Andrew's channel, a link to my Instagram. Let's see how many subscribers Andrew's got now. Because he's nearing 10 million. He's at 9.14 million, but he will be at 10 million one day, God willing. So I'll leave a link to Andrew's channel. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave a link to my Instagram if you want to follow me there. If you subscribe to me, just gotta wait. Hit the bell to stay notified. Godspeed, everyone. And da-da-da-da, with you, stupido. I just gotta take a break. Bye, everybody.